that we call teleportation. That's sort of the atom-by-atom level, yes.
But your point is that that's not transferable to the macro level. Is this
certainly as a practical matter, it's not. But even as a matter
Sean Carroll said one form of teleportation on the micro level was taking place now. But that couldn't explain teleportation on the macro level, like sending a human being to Mars.
So you're saying that Scotty can't beam us up to us yet, right?
Maybe someday. Physicists always stress the difference between things that we don't know how to do and things that violate the laws of physics as we understand them. And teleportation does not violate the laws of physics. It's what physicists call an engineering problem, if only we could learn how to do it.
Sean Carroll had confirmed that teleportation was theoretically possible. I had one last question to ask him, one that might explain how it could be happening now. What if there was an extra dimension beyond the usual four of space and time?
Imagine that this concrete pathway here, this is four-dimensional space-time, which we will live in every day. If there was a fifth-dimensional wraparound, some people call it hyperspace, some people call it subspace, what mathematically would prevent stepping into that space, moving in that space, which doesn't take time because time's over here, and then reappearing in a different location in the world line?
What we know is mathematically we can easily create scenarios just like that. But to do anything like move a macroscopic person into an extra dimension would require far more energy and far more technological capability than we have now or will have for the next couple centuries at least.
It would take us several centuries to develop this technology on our own. But what if we had help? What if we had a prototype to work from? One that had come from another planet.
Coming up, Bill and Carrie are on the verge of a major discovery.
There's several vehicles right here all of a sudden. Oh, my God.
But will they make it past the Black Ops forces?
They're watching what we're doing. These guys are tracking us every inch of the way.
Carrie and I have been investigating unexplained activities on Mars. We decided to talk to the highest level source we could find, Bob Dean. Only he could help us put the pieces of this puzzle together.
We really need your input.
Robert Dean is the ultimate government Black Ops insider, a former Army Command Sergeant Major. He obtained NATO's highest security level, Cosmic Top Secret, when he worked on a deep cover investigation into the potential threat of UFOs. We told him we'd been investigating evidence of strange activities on Mars.
We are getting a lot of information that there is a secret space program. There are shipments going to Mars, that there is a constant flow of even humans going to Mars, that there are underground bases and they have been there for quite some time. I mean, what is it you know about Mars, and can you confirm or deny the things that I'm telling you right now?
There has been an extraterrestrial presence on Mars for 100,000 years, for God's sake.
Why do you want to tell us this?
It's got to be brought out. The mass of people out there need to know what this is all about. There is a major ongoing facility on Mars right now.
What can you tell us about that?
There's a space facility which Mariner 9 photographed on the equator years and years ago, which NASA released accidentally, but then they denied they ever took the picture. I think it's a spaceport. I think probably it's where that gigantic triangular objects were photographed.
Gigantic triangular craft. Exactly what Gordon Novell had shown us.
We were told it's a craft that is possibly flying to Mars from a base in Utah.
Yes, underground base.
Interesting.
We go to Mars regularly. We go to the moon regularly.
How is that possible?
We're dealing with major extraterrestrial intelligence. We have science that we use every day that's over 100 years beyond what establishment science has any idea about.
Bob Dean was saying these spacecraft were using alien technology. Could that also explain teleportation?
Because we have been talking to Andy Bishago. Do you know who he is?
He was being teleported to Mars.
Yes.
Why keep it secret?
The technology, there is no word to describe the value of the technology. We have had anti-gravity, and we have had zero-point energy for over 40 years. Infinite energy forever for nothing. But it's not to be shared, it's not to be even admitted. But the average guy out there who's paying for his air conditioning and buying gas for his old clunker does not have any idea.
Bob Dean was talking about the ultimate secret war, a race to control extraterrestrial technology, a resource so valuable that many of the world's most powerful forces are battling to control it.
Have you ever really looked at the evidence? No. There's a shadow government. It has its own army, its own air force, its own navy that is totally separate and beyond everything that goes on in Washington. They're sitting on the technology. You understand?
Yeah.
That's why I think you're playing with dynamite here.
Bob Dean's warning was ringing in our ears as Kerry and I set out to find the top-secret military installation in Utah, the one that could be hiding a launch pad to Mars. We'd arranged to meet Dave Rosenfeld a few miles from the edge of the base.
Dave.
He's a UFO investigator and an actual eyewitness to some extraordinary events in this area.
This whole area is what they call the Utah Testing Training Range.
Have you ever climbed the fence and gone over there at all?
Absolutely not.
What would happen? Any idea?
We probably have Apache helicopters on us within 5-10 minutes.
What is really going on here?
One night we were out here and we heard this crackling noise. And we could smell ozone in the air, like something burning. And then we seen just beyond this ridgeline here, this beam would shoot up. I mean, it was huge. Through the clouds, up into space. I mean, it was just massive.
Did you take pictures at any point of this beam?
Yes, if you wait here, I'll grab one for you.
Dave Rosenfeld's story was extraordinary. So was his evidence.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Through the clouds, I mean, it was just massive.
Rosenfeld's photos showed strange objects over the base, including a beam of light that cut deep into space.
That night, did you get in trouble for being out here?
Yes. I got in front of these white SUVs, block us in, and they get out. They're palming their pistols as they're walking up. Very, very intimidating. He says, well, I suggest you guys turn around and get out of here because the people who follow us aren't as nice. They were trying to scare me to never come out here, or I don't think I'd ever forget that day.
Are you seeing any craft that are triangles, black triangles?
Yes. At night, I have seen triangular craft flying back and forth. One of the contractors I met works on a craft called the Venture Star.
What is the Venture Star?
The Venture Star is a craft that can take people up into space. He says that this craft can reach Mars in 33 hours.
Then we showed him the photo that started us on this quest.
Have you seen that before?
That looks like the Venture Star to me.
Dave, do you think that craft could be based here?
Yes, I think that the southern runway is one runway that could handle this type of craft.
Can you take us out to this place that you've been talking about?
I try to stay away from that area. I can show you on a map where it's at, but...
You're really, like, afraid of what will happen if you...
I've had too many, close calls with them.
And Dave warned us that we would, too.
As soon as you jump out of your truck and start filming, 5 minutes you're going to get confronted.
But we wanted answers. There was no turning back.
Right here.
Everything in our investigation had led to this. All the clues pointed to the existence of a shadow space program, one that was using extraterrestrial technology to send humans to Mars. We set out the next morning to find the runway Dave told us about. We hoped to get photographic evidence of the Venture Star. We were miles from the base when we noticed something in the desert. Something that made us realize we were not alone.
Look at that. Focus on the ridge.
Yeah?
And sweep across slowly to the right.
That's that dust thing right there. That's a car riding on the dust, right?
Correct. That's how you tell when a Humvee is coming towards you at 60 miles an hour across the desert.
Look, there's several vehicles right here all of a sudden.
Exactly.
Look, did they just turn around? Oh, my God.